episode of Knicks Morning Coffee. I'm Mr. King. Y'all know my host, Joe Cool.
What's up, what's up?
All right, so 2 games in the books. We've 1-1. And you know, looking at the games, not a bad 1-1 because now we got some things that we can hold our hat on. I mean, look at the Memphis game. Guard penetration is still that's going to be a problem for us because guys are just getting to the hole. Seem like anytime they get ready. The beauty of it is we do got some guys back there to clean up the mistakes, but that part got to be figured out. And to go down early, as much as we did, about 20 points in that first game too. That was a little bit frustrating, even though everybody's still trying to work out the kinks. It was things that were just unnecessary because you said it yourself that in the beginning of that first game we wasn't doing things that we was doing in preseason.
Yeah, no.
So
taking advantage of what we got already.
Yeah, things that was supposed to be our staple, but then they picked it up. You know, they came back really before halftime. You started seeing that there was going to be some signs of life, and then even in the third quarter, I kind of like that Julius was the one. Even though we can't take nothing, we're gonna get back to Cam Reddish, but Julius seemed like he was the one to kind of ignite that. Those 2 big buckets and those 2 big rebounds in traffic. And I think the rest of the guys just started following that lead and then just took it over. But that was a good first game against Memphis. That was an exciting first game, almost like a spoiler game because now we know we can fight back, in dramatic fashion, and then with the possibility of winning the game.
Yeah, the only thing I did is don't make it hard on yourself. You know what I mean? Like have the game come to you on what's your advantages.
Yeah.
I'll ask that question later, but some people performs I didn't like so much.
Who was it?
Like Fournier. Right? So Fournier kind of to me is the weakest link. Like if I had to make any move right now, I would try to figure out what shooter, defender I can go get right now to, substitute for Fournier. Grimes is hurt, so I can't just say, all right, let's move up Grimes, move Fournier back. I think his role, somebody has to tell him that's not his role.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? There's not one time that I could say him attacking the basket or trying to make his own shot helped us. It didn't. It hurt.
Yeah, see, this is the thing, and actually, we'll jump right to it now because Fournier was going to be one of our topics today. So, again, right, Fournier. Now we know that Fournier is our best shooter,
right? When
he shoots, but right again, somebody got to tell Fournier, with all your skill set, the best way for you to help this team right now is to be in your stationary position when that ball swings your way. Because even if you look at against the Pistons, whoever that kid was, his first start, every time the ball swung his way, he just knocked down a calm, cool 3, like it wasn't nothing. Which kept them, gave them fight in the game. So yeah, Fournier has to know what's going to keep you in this lineup because not only is everybody was calling for Grimes, now everybody's seen twice what Reddish could do. But this is the thing for me. I don't think Fournier has to play, and this is only me saying it, but I know management don't think that. Fournier has to play just because of the contract. All right, we know we already gave him that money, okay. And then we shouldn't have to play, he shouldn't have to play because we're trying to showcase him. Because every team already know what Fournier's capabilities are. Everybody knows what he can do. But if we're going to salvage and save our season, if Fournier can't be that sniper for us, then we have to roll with one of the other guys to get more out of it. Because you're doing the same thing RJ's doing. And right now, as a Knicks team, we don't need that.
Yeah, it's clogging the paint. It's getting redundant. Him doing that, just shoot the ball. We don't need no more playmakers.
Yeah.
If anybody should be a playmaker, it's just Brunson, our guards, and maybe even Randall to try to help us be better. Which they say he's capable of doing. He just got to showcase it.
Yeah.
But you can't showcase it if I can't get out to Fournier and you're not knocking down the shots.
Well, you're not taking the shot. That's what's bad. Be in position to take the shot. And
like do what Cam Reddish was doing. Cam Reddish was pulling it when I thought it was bad shots, and he was making them. You know what I mean? So that's what you got to do.
Yeah, it's something that's got to be a topic of conversation. Again, it's value in being a team's best shooter, but if you're not gonna shoot, and even though too, Some of those plays got to be designed for that, but that has to be told to him. This is where you can make your bones with this team because it's that log jam is too much. So so we go back to that last game with the Pistons. We put up 130 points. So really, when you do that, nobody's supposed to be able to argue about nothing. But it's just things that has to be cleaned up.
Because you know what it is too. I was thinking about this. So with that Pistons game, the only reason why I didn't feel good, one, you was excited, and I turned around and said, all right, so let me see them do that against Milwaukee, right? Because I don't want to just keep harping on Randall's game, but it's impact and then like non-impact, right? So it's you intentionally doing it and non-intentionally doing it. So if I just give Fournier the ball and he knocks down the shot, I didn't set him up for that three-point shot, right? If I just throw it back to Brunson because I'm in trouble and I don't know where to go, it's not like I'm setting Brunson up for them shots. So them 10 assists that you may get is not 10 assists that you intentionally trying to set somebody up for that shot. So when you watch the game, when we was when you look at quickly in the first half, it looked kind of crazy because he's not intentionally either taking a shot, driving to the basket. It's almost like it's available and I'm just going to take it right now to get in the flow of the game. Granted, it's only game 2, but I think they got to be more intentional on what they trying to do.
Well, that's game plan. What it come down to. Yeah, that's game plan. But I took a whole different approach.
Yeah, we made all our open shots.
Yeah.
But making them is because they're available to you because you not really was hitting anything the first game.
See, this is what I took from it. What I took from that with some of the same players you mentioned, and particularly Randall, and it's going to sound like I'm harping on Randall, tooting his horn again, but I'm not. I think that with all that hype and all that talk about the team we got, with Brunson coming in and blah, 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 and RJ taking the next step, I think Randall is trying to now show I'm a good teammate. Because you even see Randall, if somebody fall, he'll run over there, even if 2 people are already running over there to help the person up, he'll still run over there to try to help out. So remember last year, he didn't go try to help nobody up. If he didn't fall right next to him, he just threw his hand down. So I think Randall just trying to make a concerted effort to show them that I'm a part of the team, that I'm trying to fit in. But
I never thought he was a bad teammate though.
Well, I mean, remember last year you could fall, things like that. He just wasn't buying
it.
If
a bad teammate came, it probably only came because I guess when they point out with Melo, you know what I mean? Like if they compare you to Melo, it wasn't that you was a bad teammate. I think it was just because you're going to post and it seems like everybody's just watching you and you're not really producing. I'm pretty sure if you're making on them post shots and you're making on your jump shots, nobody's going to, right now, nobody's really saying nothing to you.
Yeah, but last year, you got to admit, everybody's thing with Randall was he's disengaged. Like he just took himself out of the games and out of the plays.
He took himself out of the plays.
Right, and that was part like you didn't know because he didn't want to be there. It was the attitude like, I don't want to be here. That was the problem that people was having with Randall last year. And I think to work on that, he's probably trying his best to try to fit in, to try to do certain things to let them know I got your back. Even though we need Randall, just like we did in that first game, we need that spark from you, especially if we're not getting it. This is when we need you because a lot of the games, depending on who we playing, you still might be the best one on the floor if playing to your capabilities. So I think Randall just has to know really when to pick his spots. Because I'm pretty sure he's still green-lighted to do anything that he wants. I'm pretty sure he still got that. And certain things that, like, I looked at when there was a foul shot last game and the Pistons had gotten a technical. Now I think we had Fournier and I think it was Brunson on the floor, and Randall was the one that went to the foul line to shoot the technical. So, I didn't take that as selfish. I took that as I'm going to step up to try to still be the leader of this team, even if I'm not getting all the shots.
But then, like I said, for the whole team and for him, they got to make it easy on yourself. So when Brunson go to drive in the lane, which he did less of because it almost seems like he's trying to engage everybody, but we need you to keep everybody on their toes so when you kick it out to Randall, he can knock down an easy three-point shot, which Randall got to hit it, which he did last game. Yeah. Right? So if he's hitting it, now they're going to be all up on you, and when you go to drive to the basket, that makes Brunson, RJ, everybody else open again. So why don't they just make the game easy? Because clearly all y'all can shoot.
Yeah.
It's not even the fact that we really don't got no shooters. That's a lie because everybody can shoot.
Yeah, but it's the way we shooting.
I think it's like Obi, that really not that consistent, even though he'll go hit 2 in a row.
Yeah, we can't count Obi in that, right?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so other than that, Quickly he's supposed to be able to shoot like that. Randall's supposed to be able to shoot like that. RJ, he's streaky like J.R. Smith. Like, he'll hit 4 in a row and then turn around and won't hit anything.
I don't know if I put him in JR category, but I know what you mean. All right, yo.
As good as JR is, y'all gonna start fronting like he'll hit 3 in a row and then turn around and JR will go missing.
I had a clip. I think I took it from the TV, and I actually do have it. And I wish we could be able to play it. So there was a point in the game when Randall got the ball. It was coming off a screen at the high post. Randall got the ball. 3 of their guys was guarding Randall, and you could clearly see the 4th guy. Remember I said before had the attention that Randall grabs. So when he got it at the pinch post, 3 guys was clearly guarding him, and 1 was right behind there, all eyes on Randall. That's the play where Brunson snuck through, and Randall backdoored him for that layup. So yeah, when he gets the ball, and that was always my say before. Randall still has that star power that when he get the ball, all eyes are going to be on him. Now, if he's just standing out there at the 3-point line just to shoot it, which he had knocked down 2 in a row last game, yeah, there's only 1 man in front of you. But anytime he make a move towards the middle, the defense collapse. And then it's up to him to find the people that's open. Teams still know that in their game plan that this is what I have to do. This is what we have to do to stop the Knicks. Even though Brunson's going to bring a whole new element, to the game. So I think when Randall shakes that idea that, okay, let me still be me in the realm of the team, because in certain times of a game, you still got to have go-to players. And we had that too in the first game when we were just so stagnant. That first half against Memphis, you needed somebody like Randall. Why are you not stepping up? Everybody's just like overpassing.
I mean, overpassing.
We ain't moving without the ball.
There's overpassing because, listen, I can't be somebody that solely says, oh, the good. I got to point out where we're going to struggle at. You work out all summer. So, Randall, what was the moves or the post move that you work on? Quickly, I know the announcers mentioned that Thibodeau said it's strange to him, but the floater is the new mid-range shot. Right? You was doing that last year and the year before, and it wasn't really working until you saw Derrick Rose really sacrificing his body and trying to go for 2. Right? When RJ Barrett, when you go strong to the basket, that floater don't really work. It's almost like it's contagious. Like one person do a floater, everybody do a floater. Like that floater don't always work. So what else did y'all work on besides just doing the floater, spinning to the left, and all that kind of stuff? Like what did y'all work on?
Yeah, it looked like IQ worked on getting all the way to the hole, because he was showing that in preseason. But again, the floater.
But he shows it a little bit, then goes back to the floater.
But that's
take the contact, go for 3.
But that's his shot.
Clearly it's a shot, but I feel like what he was doing last year towards the end was working more than the floater after a while.
I know, but you go back to old habits, because remember we got him as a rookie. Besides the 3, his even though we want him to get all the way to the hole, most of his points came floating. But every team has people that do the floater. We would like, that's just not something he is. We would like to see him get all the way to the hole,
but mix it
which
up.
He's doing better of, right? Yeah, easier said than done. But you see he's making an effort to get all the way to the bucket, especially in preseason. You've seen that. And the more we spread it out for him, the more he'll be able to do that. Because he's not Derrick Rose, where he can get all the way to the hole and then have 5 counter moves. He don't got that in his repertoire yet. Like Derrick has that.
Yeah, I can see Derrick Rose is trying to save his body. So as much as y'all say we need him to play, I see he's still being a little bit.
Well, in this short season, but Derrick, this is something Derrick said. I was watching him on. What's the thing with Mav Hoffa?
What's his show? I didn't watch
so I watched Derrick Rose on that, and he was talking about, and it makes sense. He was saying that he had to explain to Tibbs, and Tibbs knows that about him, that all he doing this summer is train. He don't go do no live runs. He just constantly train. So in the beginning of the season, it takes him a while to get his stamina and his timing down. He said, this is my MO every single year. And he said, Tibbs knows that about me. It takes me time to get going, because all I do is train. No, going out to LA doing the pickup runs with everybody. So now that kind of makes sense, because you know that Derrick is a downhill player, and when he get into a groove, you can see how he get to the hole so easy.
I don't got no grace with Derrick Rose. He drives to the basket. First game he didn't really hit the 3-pointers, but second game you see he clearly can do it.
Yeah, it makes sense because you don't got your legs under you.
Step back, setting teammates up.
Yeah.
When Derrick Rose do it, just doesn't have to be said, right? So Quickly needs to start picking up some of that stuff. Like I said, intentionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quickly will point and tell people to move and do all this other kind of stuff. But are you doing it just so you can create space for yourself, or are you doing it to actually set them up?
See, that's got to be something with that's got to be something with the coaches. But when Tibbs is telling you,
so with that being said,
y'all to shoot.
With that being said, my boy said it seems like Quickly does not like Reddish, and I asked you that on the phone, and I'm asking you guys, like, before you answer, like, what do y'all think? Do y'all think Quickly just not trying to hear Cam Reddish playing or taking any minutes? Because it seems like Cam Reddish is working hard for the minutes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Sure.
Yeah, last game he threw the ball away, but I seen he was trying to get in his bag. I wasn't really mad at him. I'm like, don't lose the ball. But do you think Quickly is kind of? Because there was some times that Reddish was kind of wide open in that corner three, and you can say that's his spot. He almost damn near 3 for 3 in that corner.
And then, well, let me give you my answer I gave you on the phones. Now that y'all gave us y'all's answer, let's see it in the comments. My answer was this, because I'm not necessarily saying he don't like Reddish. One, IQ knows if Reddish get a lot of burn, it might not only come at the cost of Evan Fournier. It might also come at his expense as a big guard. Two, you got to remember, and I told you that, these are Duke and Kentucky players. There's bad blood between Duke and Kentucky players. So, yeah, RJ's been there from the beginning. So now you bringing in another, and probably felt that way when they brought him in last year. Like, oh, we're going to appease RJ and bring in his boy. You know, even though we are at the point when we had Knox and all of them, we had all these Kentucky players. But yeah, I don't want to lose my spot to a Duke guy. And that could be something that IQ be thinking in his mind.
See, I like it on the Knicks, but I think this is probably even when we went to the playoffs. It was almost like when all them got here, it was almost like the rookies versus like RJ and Randall and like the older heads. It was almost like a clash. And if we didn't have Taj Gibson, it almost seemed like we would fall apart. I just don't want that to start happening, where it's kind of like RJ's probably kind of in the middle because Reddish is his boy, and then Quickly is trying to fight and keep his spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Quickly really is only one thing away from McBride probably taking his spot. You know what I mean? Like McBride, I thought honestly was probably going to go down back to the G League, but he's clearly
still might though.
I mean, but
when Grimes come in the fold, that's gonna, because even that other kid from Villanova, he's still up on the main roster right now. So when Grimes come into the fold, who goes down? Probably gonna be the kid Ryan Archer, whatever, but he has value. He can shoot. What Deuce has is ball pressure.
Yeah.
But let me just jump back for seconds what you just said about we don't want to see no internal beef. But if you remember, and they could work it out, because you remember the first year, at the end of the season, RJ and Randall was having on-court beef. The next year they came back, they worked that out. You know, RJ, like, I guess, you know, I'm the up-and-coming, I'm the man, because RJ's still closer to the other guys' age, that you say the young guys. So they had their little turmoil when we first got RJ. But him and Randall, I guess they must have, however, it got worked out. They have a better relationship because RJ is like the second so-called star on our team. And I think everybody else on the team know that. The key for that is the guys that are under there, they should just fight for your own minutes. They shouldn't have to be worrying about, because Tibbs is gonna, like Tibbs said in his interview, it don't just start in the games to get minutes. It starts in practice.
Yeah. So
Cam must have got in practice and just said, forget everybody. Because other than those few times where you see RJ looking for Cam, they don't strike you. If you didn't know they went to the same school and played on the same team, they don't strike you as buddies. They don't strike you as that. Whereas if Zion was on our team, you would probably see more of him and RJ.
Yeah, but see, now I'm glad you brought that up, because now if Zion was on our team, I don't even so much think it's about the star or star power anymore. I think it's just that it factor of something that people cannot guard or can't wrap their mind around, right? Zion has that thing about him that he's gonna give you 2 points or be a force to reckon with on that court.
Yeah, he's gonna make
So
a
I think
play.
the problem with the Knicks is not that when we look at the Knicks and we play Ja Morant and say, oh, we don't got a star. I think the problem is none of our players have that it thing that makes them unstoppable. They got the potential to do it, like Jalen Brunson had the potential to beat them guards, probably like in the category, I want to say AI, right? That can dribble around and shake you up, hit a midi, come to the three, take it to the basket. RJ has that it thing to where like he can muscle your way and bully ball his way to the basket. And Randall has that thing where he could probably be another Melo and score. But they haven't done it. Right. And nothing that they can give, like, it's not like, I'm going to say this, like when we had Porzingis, you couldn't tell me when he got the ball at the three-point line, you knew something about to happen. Either he's about to drive, he's about to drill a three, like he's about to do something. You felt comfortable with Porzingis as the guy.
And that, yeah.
You know what I mean? But now we don't even feel comfortable about any of our big three that we can have.
Because the whole team,
guy. Like they got to figure out amongst them three, Jalen Brunson,
they got to figure out through the coaching staff, trickle down to the team. That's respect from the team. When Porzingis get it, if Melo don't have it, everybody else know, okay, he got it. Now what do? I got to do this. Same thing we go back to with Memphis with Ja Morant. Ja Morant goes to a team that already got a star, then we don't see him as we see him today. Same thing with the Knicks. When RJ Barrett, the way RJ played in that third and fourth quarter, and mostly the third, they didn't play a whole lot. When he was getting the ball, taking his time, going to the hole any way he wanted. That's the it factor that RJ has. But the other players wasn't running, calling for the ball in that sense. So he was able to take his man and do what he want. Now he looked like a man among boys going to the hole. But that's what that is. When everybody's scrambling, everybody trying to get the ball, they not accepting that you the man. They're not accepting that. They accept, give it to me, let me do it. And that's got to be something that's trickled down. That has to be established in the Knicks culture to have that. I mean, when Randall's doing it, they just accept it. When they accept it from RJ, you'll see a better RJ because now he'll have space.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's confusing because you look at the Grizzlies with Ja Morant.
That's a bad example, though.
Yeah, but they said when Ja Morant comes out, they kind of play better without Ja Morant there. That's what they were saying, right? Then I'm looking at the Hawks.
But we almost got back in the game when Ja Morant went out.
Yeah, true. And then I'm looking at with the Hawks when I guess their main players were hurt and Reddish came in and it's almost like Reddish got the green light. It's like, so why our role players just can't play the role? Is it because we're on the Knicks and everybody wants to be the guy that turns the Knicks around? Like, is that what the problem is with the Knicks?
Look, Tibbs is almost giving people now. He's almost giving a lot of people the green light. But it still has to be in a not even in a pecking order, but it has to know when your so-called star players get the ball in a sweet spot, you have to, your internal thinking got to kick in that, okay, how do I help that person be successful at that moment? Or am I just running and waiting for the ball? Like, you got to be creating movement.
But now because
when we go back to role play, just like with Memphis, when Ja Morant went out, they played better cohesion, but we got back in the game. When Atlanta, when their guys went out and Reddish, it wasn't doing the team no good. So we have an established bench that's gonna help us get back in games, hopefully sustain. If we do have leads. But our role players in this sense would be Fournier. Can't really count Mitch because Mitch goes with the flow. And then who else is it gonna be? Fournier, Mitch, and Brunson. Is Brunson gonna be role player? Or is he gonna be a main player?
But that's what's confusing.
But that's what's gonna be.
I think with Stephen, when Stephen A says it's us, the fans that do it, or it's the media that does it, or is it the players that listen too much to the fans and the media? Like, what is it? Because now you got like Orlando, Ponchero, how you say his name, right? What makes him be the guy?
Joey.
Like when you say everybody's whack, we just lost to the Grizzlies, right? So that's what I'm saying. This was my worry. Ja Morant is the guy of a team that everybody is a role player, but they play better without that. They clear cut got players that they probably saying in Memphis. They saying, "Oh, we could have a big three if this person do this." We the Knicks, right? We thinking about only the Knicks. Now we fast forward to us. We don't have the guy.
Yeah, but
what makes you the guy?
Like, guy when you go to a team that don't have nobody. Period. Ja Morant goes to Memphis. They don't got nobody. So this is his team from the door. This kid coming out of Duke, he's going to Orlando. Okay, they got Suggs, but they don't have there's nobody's team. So you're the guy. You're the guy. So now it's easy for everybody to play off you because everybody established from day one that you're the guy. It's like if somebody walk into the gym right now, let's just say KD come to the Knicks right now with everybody that's on our team. Soon as he walk in the door, Randall included, everybody, okay, KD is the guy. So now these are what I got to do as a second and third order, pecking order, or to play off that. So when you walk into a team that don't have if RJ came to the Knicks and we didn't have Randall, with the way our team is when we got him, if he came into that team, he'd be the guy. He'd walk in, I'm RJ Barrett. So whatever you did good in college, you're going to do twice as good because you're the main man to pick your spots, and get to where you got to get to.
Yeah, so the only reason why I'm asking that because I think that's just the Knicks' problem. Like, we don't got, and I wish they would just step up. Like,
Randall's the guy. It's just a matter of everybody buying in and even Randall being efficient. But he is the guy. So you just got to be efficient.
And that's what Tracy Morgan would say, right? But I think with Stephen A, because he gets on my nerves, I think that's what Stephen A was trying to get across.
All right, we don't got no superstar.
Yeah, until we get the superstar, somebody
we ain't getting one. Look at Toronto. Toronto have a good team. Yeah, they have no superstar. Pascal Siakam is in the same boat Randall was in. It just matter how efficient are you. When Randall is efficient, he can go up against anybody probably except the top 3-4 stars. When he's efficient. So I think he's going to get back to that this year. I honestly do. And then we better hope that he do. Right. So let's go back to last game again. 130 points. And I was all happy till somebody scored 134 and somebody else scored 131 in the same night. But I was like, damn, we putting up 130. This is going to mean something. So we had 6 players in double figures. Could have easily had 8, right? Because 2 people had 6. So in those double figure games, all you need is 1 or 2 guys to stand out in those when you have those double figure games like that. Remember last year I said we probably would have 8 guys averaging double figures because we thought we was gonna run last year. So if you're gonna have 5-6 guys every night in double figures, all you need is 1, maybe 2 guys that really stood out because you want to be able to say that the ball was moving. So then it goes back to then what could be our link to help us get over the edge when teams are preparing? Because now the ball should be flying around. Defenses can't be set. So I looked at there was a sequence when Mitchell Robinson got the ball down low, went down low, got it, made a move, really put it down too far, lost it. All right, got it stripped. Another sequence came down, they post him up, threw the ball to him down low, didn't have his footing right, tried to turn around and shot a wild shot. But I think that we should regardless of how much pick our spots in the game, but our link to be keep throwing that ball down to Mitch, right? Because that's the only way. He's not going to get it all in practice because the whole team is rooting for you to become a post player. In the games, keep pushing it down to him 3-4 times a game until he get it right. Like, okay, a big man should never take the ball down that low. All right, when you turn, are you turning with some sort of a pump fake to move the defense up in the air or to the side so you can get off a clear shot? Just enough to get there, because he can jump out the gym, enough to be able to get that sky hook, or jump hook over somebody. So we're going to keep having, if we can keep having 5, we can always have 6. If we can keep having 4 or 5 guys in double figures, and then we have that thing in Mitch, that we know we can throw the ball down there, because we know as the season goes on, we're going to be able to throw it out to Hartenstein. So now look at the combination of teams. Where can we be now in the thick of things if we can put these kind of points on the board, even if it's 120? If we can put these kind of points on the board and we can have an inside presence besides Randall, and we can have a big man outside in Hartenstein with all these shooters and all these drivers, how can teams now begin to guard us? Now, there was a sequence at the end of the game the other night when Hartenstein and Mitch, for a split second, they was in the game at the same time to secure a foul shooting rebound, which we ended up getting. So who's to say as this experiment goes on and on, could they play together, in small stretches.
That's only if
Mitch and Hart, if he's hitting his jump shot.
No, Hartenstein definitely probably going to start hitting his jump shot, but that's only if Mitch can get that post move right. In which I'm not mad at him if he just can't wrap his head around the post move. One, your players got to know how to get you the ball in the post. You know how I feel about the post. You taught me how to post move. When you down there, sometimes a guard or player just don't know how to get you the ball. Shaq complained about it. I'm pretty sure every big man they going like they moving their hand because they like giving me the ball.
But you gotta know how
somebody's
to seal
so scared
to
throw it. Yeah, when you seal them off, you seal them off the correct way. There's sometimes he didn't do it right. He's not really solid down there. Adams is a beast. Like he's moving you out the way, but I just watched the game where Adams was getting killed by a center that couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So if he can get that down pat, it doesn't come overnight, but if he can get it down pat, yeah. If he just to face up to the basket, kind of throwing the ball and he get in transition, then he should just focus on that then. Because he clearly could do that because he can run to the basket.
Yeah, but
he just got to calm his nerves down.
Yeah, he needs to expand his game, but he got to learn the 2 times in particular that I'm talking about when they threw the ball into him. He didn't seal the man off. He was just in front of the man.
Yeah.
You have to seal the person off. That's why I said with Othello Harrington, when I was saying a few weeks ago, Othello Harrington should be able to teach him that. Because why did we bring him there unless we're trying to help develop our low post big men? Then why would we bring a guy
always being fancy. Sometimes it
right, just throw it down into me and let me go to work. Yeah. But if I'm straight up, I could guard Mitch if he's just straight up, with no leverage.
And he's turning around, shooting it off the dribble.
Or you turn around, you're shooting off balance.
Like Dirk Nowitzki. But he practiced that.
Right, but his base, Dirk has a base. So but look at the element though, in this shortened season, look at the element that we can have, that we can throw out there on teams. Because in 70% of the teams or 80% of the teams, we're gonna always look like the underdog. Against Orlando, we definitely don't look like the underdog. But again, because the guy we're talking about, Puncher, whatever his name is,
got the green
because he has the green light the way he do, and you got a guard like Suggs, and you got some other pieces. When them playing off you, it'll make you look more like a star. But again, the game plan though is he's gonna do his thing, and he's gonna help us facilitate to be able to do our thing. That's what Orlando's mindset will be, which will make them dangerous to us because we haven't established nothing. But if we playing on all our cylinders, I don't see how teams like that should be able to beat us. I don't see how some of the middle of the pack teams should be able to beat us. Because we really can bring weapons in at any position, all over the court. Now that Reddish has come in to be what we thought he was going to be coming out of Duke. And Reddish has to play.
Yeah, but honestly for me, as we sit here, if I was like a coach or anything, I would just say, listen, everybody else, make the game easy for yourself. Randall, if you get it on 3, just shoot it. And I would kind of see what Jalen Brunson can do. Like, listen, be a little selfish. Get to the hole, kick it out to your stars. That's what I would say, and see what they do once you kick it out. RJ, keep playing your bully ball. Randall, just keep the game simple. Everybody just keep the game simple. Reddish, keep playing how you playing. Like it works for some of us, and it don't work for all of us.
Reddish is creating the Reddish.
Yeah, he's creating the shot, but everybody can. Fournier can't do that.
Well, Fournier can't do it. Reddish.
So I would tell Fournier, keep the game simple, shoot.
Yeah, shoot, but we gotta help him.
I understand you can do it. Mitch he can do a crossover and get to the basket, but we don't need you to do that.
Yeah, but this is the time to learn. In this shortened season, you pick your spots in the game. Okay, you make a mistake, okay, I ain't gonna try that again. But you got it. They're not gonna grow if we don't pick our spots. Same with Randall. Yeah, we want Randall to shoot, but Randall has to create when he's attacking the basket. Because that draws in the defense. That's his way of like a Jalen Brunson getting to the hole and dishing out. That's Randall's way of doing it because he'll collapse the defense. What we also have to do better of is when that ball is zipping around. If you remember starting the game out, the first game, RJ missed 2 wide open threes in the corner. Now you're open for a reason, but we have to figure out a way where those shots are going to be open for the guy. Now Fournier should be in that spot.
Or
the offense got to be ran that way.
Yeah, or as Brunson got the ball, why don't Randall and Mitch kind of set screens for each other, and they create a mismatch in the post, then post up that way. You know what I mean? Like when they start setting screens for each other off the ball, and they go down to the paint, then Brunson can drop it down, so you create a space.
Yeah.
They gotta be out there to guard everybody else.
Yeah. See, there was right because there was a sequence in the second half where Hartenstein and Obi did exact that. The ball, but it didn't go down to the post. It went out to a three. But they set the big on big screen for each other. So yeah, but that's stuff that Tibbs. Some of that stuff Tibbs gotta work out. But a good offensive player knows how to manipulate the defense, and that's what that's called, manipulating the defense. You make them react. Remember, you said John Morant when Randall did something. He said, well, "I knew Randall was going to do this." You know, so that's what our guards and that's what our team have to start thinking. If we want that shot to go to Fournier wide open, we got to find a way to drag that man, which is supposed to be what you practice. So he is wide open,
right?
Because I'm pretty sure the guy that was killing us on Memphis, I'm pretty sure he was designed to be open. I don't think that ball just swung his way every time.
Yeah,
because he's too prepared to shoot. You know, so we're gonna do this, and this. Just be ready. And he was just knocking it down.
And we got to keep it that simple. So next game, hopefully, we're keeping it simple.
Yeah, and we had 29 assists. And what I was just trying to look and see on the topic of Fournier, of those 6 people in double figures, Fournier wasn't one of them. So, but we had
did it to himself.
Well, we had 2 people that had 6 points. So I mean, if it's not, as long as RJ and Randall is a part of that, when you have those big numbers like that, to me, both of them got to be a part of that.
Yeah. And
then you have, so then don't necessarily have to be Fournier, but clearly Fournier can average 20 points a game.
Yeah.
We know that. But how is his 20 points going to come at the detriment of the team? Because we can't say he's allowed to drive and then say Reddish is not he's not allowed, but Reddish is allowed. Even though Reddish is a better finisher.
You can, because Reddish is a better finisher. They got to
but they also equally.
And you got to play your
shooter.
role. You didn't come to the Knicks to be the star or the big 3 at all. Like, we know who the big 3 is if we can make a big 3 right now. Like, we wouldn't even play you. All due respect. You know what I mean? MSG, if you're watching, you know what I mean? We love the Knicks. You feel me? We just passionate.
Yeah, but I took up an interesting stat for us too for that game against the Pistons. Again, it's only the Pistons, but you still got to make the shot. Field goals, we shot 52% from the field, and then in 3 points, we were 16 of 38. So now, you ain't gonna shoot 52 all the time, but that goes to show that everybody playing on their game. Look at what we could do when they're talking about, and that's only rightfully so. All we are right now is a play-in team. That's fine because there's a whole lot of people going to be a play-in team. 7, 8, 9, 10. So why can't we think bigger? If we can manage our own game, why can't we think bigger? Why can't we think 6? If we manage in our game, for those little things. Because every player work on just a little bit of something. Look at us as a team.
Yeah, we a 6 seed if we
keep it simple. If we keep it simple, play our game,
that's it.
and do some takeaways from the other team. Again, there's nothing wrong now to say you're a playing team, especially if you're gonna be a playing team. You got the home court advantage because there's so many now better teams in the Eastern Conference. And if you had there's probably only 3. And somebody might count us as a 3. But there's probably only 3 you could probably think of that's not. When you think of maybe Orlando, maybe Detroit, and maybe somebody else. Everybody else is capable. Everybody else is capable. So there's going to be some good teams that are playing teams at the end of the season. But why can't we still think bigger because of the little pieces that we have? We have them. All right. It's a side note I want to bring up about Knicks Morning Coffee. I think this is what episode might be 94.
Yeah, right.
We are slowly, and I'm gonna say slowly because it's taken us 3-4 years to get here. We slowly approaching 100 episodes. So we want y'all to stay with us and like, comment, and subscribe. So by the time we get to that 100, that particular day, we want to try to get 100 likes as our own little anniversary. All right, so just stay with Knicks Morning Coffee. We did a live last week. We're gonna try to do a lot more after the games, after some of the Knicks games, and we'll let y'all know in advance. All right, but in the meantime, we got Orlando tomorrow night, and when y'all see this, it means we got Orlando tonight. And everybody stay safe. Peace.
Peace.